I had the opportunity to drive with my son, I think on Tuesday,
Yes.
After the parent-teachers meeting.
Yes.
And I had a chance to actually talk about fatherhood,
Yeah.
and I asked him questions of what am I doing well, what am I not doing so well, and so we had that bit of conversation. So that was interesting. Then last night I was at the golf club with my dad. We had a similar conversation. I already know him,
yeah.
but we're just having discussions about golf and life in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sparked off some memories of what I would tell him. If I had a chance as a young boy and he asked me that question, what I would possibly tell him. But I guess the way we relate with our fathers, our age group and our fathers, and this new age and us is very different. The thing that was beautiful was that he said that he likes the fact that I support his dream. I am a father who is, he can see clearly that I have heard what his ambition and passions are, even at such a young age. And I've supported them to the best extent. And he's got a big dream around soccer, but he also has dreams around technology and all that. And I think so. Part of me is about looking at what this young person's potential is and giving them the opportunities to fulfill that as much as I can to my abilities. The other thing he said was that I'm hard. I'm hard on him. I'm hard on him. I'm tough.
Yes.
And that's the same thing my daughter would say the same way. I do ensure that discipline is there. And I think discipline is important. We take it for granted. I mean, we all say, you must discipline. If you don't spank the kid or if you don't give them certain chores, routines. But I think it's critical, especially in this world where people have to find a way to organize themselves and be certain about how they're going to live their lives, because that level of organization truly helps you in times when things are crumbling down. At least you have a starting point. Where I can start by just say, I make my bed, I do 1, 2, 3 things. It starts to bring you some clarity in the midst of the greatest challenges you'll face in life. So I guess that's what my son would say. I do push them to read, but if they don't like reading, I push them. Okay, what's the other media? So I try and discover what are ways. How do you learn?
Yes.
What's the best way you learn? So if it's not reading, is it watching movies? Is it using your hands, doing things? So my daughter loves to play musical instruments. She actually teaches herself musical instruments. So she's taught herself how to play the piano. She's taught herself how to play the guitar, and she'll just pick something, or she'll start learning a language. And she'll like, I want to learn Japanese, and she'll just go there. So just really helping them explore their talents and capacities. Hey, what do we all teach our fathers? I feel sorry for them, because I guess they came out from a world where the father-son or the father-child relationship was not a one-to-one.
Yes.
I think for them, when they were growing up, they grew up as a community, in the village setting, and there was a whole other way of bringing up boys, bringing up girls. It was a very different way of parenting. And so him in his transition, he was not so much there, working hard to feed the family. We used to see him basically very late at night, coming from work, and so we didn't have that many opportunities to really talk. And so one thing I would say is that if you could do this again, I wish I'd had more time to hear about your life story, to hear who you are, how you got to where you are, and less of have you finished your maths homework? Have you finished this homework? Can you do this better? I would really have loved to hear what is going on in his life, and I think that would have given me quite a bit of perspective. But I think on the positive side, my dad was very wise. He would throw all these wise sayings that people have. I remember one time I was struggling in some country somewhere.
Yes.
And I needed some money, and I kindly asked him if he could spare some cash to help me get out of a jam. And he said something like, as long as asking for money with dignity is okay, but it's never right to steal. Yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, just ask, and I will give. In some sense, so as long as you do it honorably, and it's for a good reason, and that's fine. So I used to have many sayings of that nature. So that wisdom was important, and it's part of the things that have really built me. I guess the big thing is knowing when to be what kind of person to the children. Of course, early on when they were much younger, you want to connect with them, but it was a lot more of being instructive and directive. Now that they are teenagers, especially my daughter who's 18, my son who's 14, it's the balance between not being too much of the disciplinarian, but also making sure that as much as you're giving them room to discover who they are, it's also helping them kind of navigate the challenges that will navigate ahead of them. Not saying that the world is not easy. Life is not easy. So how do you take on the challenges? How do you take on those opportunities that are there before you? So it's always a balancing act. I say, like, especially with my daughter sometimes now, because she can be very, she'll challenge ideas. And I love that about her. So we'd have back and forth conversations, almost like an argument, but it's not really an argument, but we're put in a position across. So it's really being, when do I be the strict father figure? And then when am I the friend who can understand, hear her stories, hear her perspective, and have those kind of free conversations. And I do love it when I can see them opening up and say, oh, by the way, this is what I experienced in one way or the other, or this person was bullying me, or this person did what. I mean, they actually now start opening and telling you things. And you're not just talking about, okay, which university are you going to? Again, the math thing. You're also not talking about, how did you do in your exams and all. I mean, that's not going to rule the conversation. You're actually now having stories about their lives and what's going on in their life. I think I've been lucky in that regard that we are quite aligned in the way we think about bringing up the children. So there's not necessarily been any conflict. Even when we were together, we understood each other's strengths. So whereas if I'm the one who's going to bring the discipline, should be the one who allows to connect with them at a story level, etc. So we all leveraged our strengths in different ways, and that continues to happen. Maybe even in the separation now, there's a big focus. Or some of the things she'll do is that she'll call me out if she says, hey, I'm not seeing you spending enough time with the children. Can they come? Let them stay with you for a bit longer, and you impart whatever you're supposed to impart to them. So there's that sharing of the responsibility of bringing them up together. So I think I'm lucky in that regard. Although, again, co-parenting has been for a short period of time, so I don't know. Let's see if the luck doesn't run out. But so far, I think it's good. And then also the fact that the children are also at a particular stage in their life that it's made it a bit easy. I'm flexible. I was having a discussion actually with my therapist quite recently, and we were discussing these things of flexibility versus being strict and over-focused on or magnifying particular issues. And I think I am much more flexible because I didn't experience a lot of that flexibility. So I'm trying to give what I felt that I missed a lot to these children. And I think a lot of us at this age are doing that, is really seeing, okay, where did we get enough? We lacked love of some sort or some nature. So things like I'd had my son good night and things like that. So I think I try to be a flexible, modern father, but I also make sure that I don't let go of some things that I think are important for stability. In terms of showing that, making sure that these people learn to be respectful, the children learn to be respectful, they respect themselves, as well as the people around them, the environment that they're with, and they're well behaved. In the parent-teacher meeting with my son, I mean, majority, 80% of the teachers said, "Oh my God, your son is so well behaved. He's like so mature for his age." That's beautiful. That's a testament to, I guess, the kind of upbringing. So it's a balance between giving them the flexibility around who they are, and then also being the person who can hold them accountable. I guess for one thing, they will definitely say that I'm doing this for my children because my dad didn't do that. I don't know what that is. I can't tell. I'm sure my dad didn't know what flexibility. I don't know. So it's hard to tell like what they would think that I didn't do. I do know maybe they will probably try and communicate a lot more. Even though I talk to them, I'm also a bit removed, similar to how my dad was perhaps. So they'd want someone, I guess they'll try a lot harder to bond with their children if that was something that they thought was missing. Yes. So in terms of tradition, one thing that we've already grown up with, and I think this is a tradition within my larger family, is that we have built something around the Gatabaki name. Yeah, we have put it on a pedestal, saying that, look here, as Gatabakis, we are children of a legacy around fighting for the betterment of society in whatever field you are in, or making a difference in whatever field you are in. It's not enough to just be a person. It's important to give your all and contribute as much as possible. And we've given that name a meaning. That's why from our father's time, we stuck to the same surname. Instead of, typically in our culture, you get your father's name, etc. Those names keep moving. But all of us stick to Gatabaki as our surnames. And that's got to also carry the fact that you've got to carry that name with respect and try and deliver to the best of your abilities what that name espouses. And I think I'll do the same thing for my children. Say, like, you've got a rich heritage, you've got a powerful name, do your best to live up to it. Fatherhood teaches you so much. It teaches you so much in life. I mean, it teaches you how to be humble, that what you think is right is not always right. So it allows you actually become a devil's advocate, because you think that one way of doing a thing, and you think that that's the only right way for it to happen. Your children will teach you, no, actually things can happen in a very different way. Or your perspective about the world, they can have a totally different perspective. So I think that's a big thing it's brought to me, is that humility, and actually, and it really humbles you. When you're around children, there's a feeling that you get that is of a specialness of the relationship that, I don't think it's hard to replicate that in any other situation. So that's what it's brought to me. What it's taken from me, time. It does take time. You do have to be quite intentional, and sometimes we fail at this a lot, because we've got so many things we're focused on, whether it's our careers, whether it's our social life, etc. You just really have to put the time and work. And so luckily for us, we live in a society where with social media, you actually can see other people parenting. And you go, oh my God, I'm not doing this. Let me try to do this together. Let's work on this together. So we're the cool family. We're the family that goes out on holiday together. We're the family that goes for lunch. We go for walks in Karura. You're like, oh damn, okay, let's do that. Joe, to be honest, I've never really marked that Father's Day. I've never really thought about it. I know I have received gifts in the past around this day, but more often than not, if it's on a weekend, I'll be playing golf. I would lie. I would lie.
The best part is Monday is also a holiday.
There you go. There you go. So there's a big chance that I'll be playing golf. When's it? Again, it's 12th?
16th. Next Sunday, and then 17th is a holiday.
So I'll be happy. I'll be coming back from Uganda. Most likely I'll actually be at the golf course, or relaxing, or studying, because I am doing some papers and assignments.
No, Father's Day breakfast or something like a brunch, or the kids coming to cook for you.
That would be great. I can put that idea in their mind. Or I can actually cook for myself.
You need to make demands.
Treat myself.
You need to make demands.
Thank you for that. I make demands. So I get served.
Yes. It's your day.
I'd give it a 4.
A 4-star.
Why? A 4-star. I think and this is just observation feedback, based on the perspectives that my children present to me, they would place me right there at 4. And I think the level of effort that I also put into it, I'd put it at a 4. Not a 5 because, again, there's always something that you're working towards to get better. And like I mentioned,
the
probably
walks.
the aloofness, the walks. There you go. Yeah. But it might be a little bit lower if they don't cook for me anything on Father's Day. So we're not sure. That would be a true rating. Then maybe if you allow me to answer post the conversation,
we
can talk about the actual
recap of post Father's Day.
Yeah.